Guys, welcome back once again to ordersacademy.net. Thank you for joining us. In this video we'll be showing you the EPR1 zone splitting. So the point of this is, say for instance you have a master bedroom and an ensuite. It may not be necessary for the ensuite to listen to a different source, so you may decide just to split the zones. You could just wire two pairs of speakers into one zone if you were wiring it in parallel. However, this would not give you individual control over being able to mute the additional or the split part of the zone. So if you were just to wire speakers in parallel and put a pair in the master bed and a pair or a DT speaker in the ensuite, you wouldn't be able to mute that ensuite independently of the master bedroom. So to get around this, SpeakerCraft have cunningly created this EPR1 speaker muting relay system. So let's have a look at how this works. Firstly, what's required in order to make this work is some keypads. You would need a keypad in each room, so you need one keypad in the master, or in this case room A, and one keypad in the ensuite, which is room B. So either keypad can control the MZC. In this case it's going to be wired into zone 1. So each keypad can control zone 1 and select whichever source you want to listen to in the zone and its subzone. The keypads would need to be addressed differently, so this keypad may be addressed to 0 and this keypad may be addressed to 1. Because they're both wired to the same zone port, you would need to address them independently and give them unique addresses. As you can see, they are both wired into the same zone port. The speakers are wired via these EPR1 speaker muting relays. This is quite important, as this is how this pair of speakers can be muted independently from this pair of speakers. This is achieved by 12 volts being applied to this relay, causing this to break the circuit and open the circuit. Thus, when 12 volts is applied, due to a button being pressed on the front of the keypad, no audio goes to this pair of speakers. However, the zone itself is not muted, and because there's no 12 volts being applied here, audio is allowed to freely pass through. So this is showing you how the speakers are wired. So when one speaker muting relay mutes, the other is unaffected. This is beneficial because usually the speaker mute button, which is the volume wheel, would mute the zone itself, in which case all 4 speakers would be muted if there was no muting relay in place. You may be in a situation where you want to retrofit this functionality and can't bury the EPR1 in a cavity or in the void of a wall. In which case, if IR is not being used, you could extend the IR to this relay output. Then you've got a Cat 5 cable which is running all the way back to the MZC itself. You could break out of this Cat 5 cable the 2 cores, the blue and white blue, which are for IR, and feed that into a speaker muting relay that is co-located with the MZC. That way you do not have to find a way to retrofit this device. You could co-locate it and feed the 12 volts via the IR if you're not using the inbuilt IR pass-through. This IR only passes IR from the IR receiver. So, let's have a look at how we program in order to make this work. So what we want to do is we want to press a button which is going to mute the speaker muting relay independently of this one. So let's have a look. Back to the same project that we've been working on. This option is found in the zone menu. If we click on whole house /mute, we have the option to select whether or not we want the internal preamp muting to happen, or we want the EasyPad relay speaker muting to happen. In this case, for a split zone using the EPR1, we would want to use the EasyPad relay speaker muting. When I right click on this button, you can see that it says mute relay. If I hadn't strayed away from the default settings, it would say mute preamp. Because I've applied the setting independently to the zone, it's not applied to zone 2, It's because zone 1 is the one that's been split. So when I press the volume commands, depress this volume wheel in zone 1, it's not going to mute the actual amplifier itself, it's going to mute the speaker muting relay. I hope this has made sense. Please join us in the next video where I'll show you more programming with Mode SpeakerCraft.